Hey guys. IKHWAN and Sarah, my Instagram friends here. And we're now in Sophie Cat's 15th birthday looks. My voice is Hugh.
And my voice is Kendra. And if Kendra voice didn't work, just use the Nicole voice instead. Anyways, what do you think of our looks for one of Equin's bestie Sophie Cat's birthday? Let me know in the comment sections.
Anyways, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sophie Cat's birthday special videos.
Man, I cannot believe I'm grounded for 2 months and 8.5 weeks and 3 days just because I'm terminated Smarty's YouTube channel and wished Irene, aka Princess Sapphire 2000, unhappy 2 days belated 1000 subscribers along with Carla. And what's really worse, today is Sophie Cat's 15th birthday, alongside with Kenny Animate's birthday. They doesn't deserve to have a shitty birthday. Last year, Stephanie and Stephane made a good point about why they sucked so hard, and Stephanie and Stephane yelling "shut up" to everyone else during all of the people sing a happy birthday song to Sophie Cat and Kenny Animate back on last year. Even worse, Kenny Animate keeps making grounded videos out of my bestie Lily non-stop, and saying that Criminal deserved grounded series. When that series is cyberbullying, what should I do for them for their birthdays? I have a idea. I will beat up Sophie Cat again, just like back in October last year. This time, along with Kenny Animate on their birthday, that will teach them a lesson that made everyone liking the Criminal Users Gets Grounded series and claim that it's not cyberbullying, when it is 100% cyberbullying. Ha 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 ha.
Well, Kenny Animate, today is our birthdays. I can't wait for all of my besties and the innocent people coming here to our birthday house.
I know, right, Sophie Cat? This will be awesome.
Ugh. Not happy again. Who's the one who beat me up along with Andres 290 just because Equin got his main channel back after being hacked? Back in October last year.
Guess what? I will beat 2 of you up for celebrating Equang's returning to his main channel with a dunce. Also, he keeps making grounded video out of me non-stop.
No 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 no. And not to mention, Sophie, my bestie. She's also a criminal supporter by made a angry message to people who wishing Syra a happy birthday instead of Tanvir Animate 2 months ago, along with Lily the Little Anderson brat. Back in June 14th this year.
Oh. And Cat wishing Pearl. As a Y. And laughing Bob 100. If you 3 are watching this, start wishing Tanvir Animate a happy birthday again instead of wishing Syra the ugly girl a happy birthday.
And this time, are you going to beat Sophie Cat again along with me on our birthdays?
That's right, Kenny Animate. I will beat up Sophie Cat again. This time, along with you, Kenny. Because of you are the ugliest girl I've ever seen next to Syra for Sophie Cat and us for you. Kenny Animate. You almost made all of the so-called criminals, aka my favorite users, ever committed suicide by manipulated people to make criminals gets grounded. And you said that it's not cyberbullying, when it's completely cyberbullying. Even if Go Animate is just a animating program.
No 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 no
I don't give a crap. You both deserved it for being a ugliest girl I've ever seen for Sophie Cat. And almost my favorite users ever committed suicide for Kenny Animate.
Oh my god. Sophie and Kenny. What happened?
My bestie Sophie and Kenny Animate. Are you two okay?
No. We are not okay. Why? Because Happy just beat me up again. This time with Kenny Animate on our birthday.
Shoot. I've been busted by Quang and Syra again. Just like back in October last year. When I am beating up Sophie and Andres.
Happy. Did you just beat up Sophie Cat again for second time in a row? This time with Kenny Animate for their birthday. Is this true?
To be completely honest. Yes. The reason why I am beating up Sophie Cat again for the second time. And Kenny Animate for this time for their birthdays is because Sophie Cat is the ugliest girl I've ever seen next to you, Syra. And as for Kenny Animate, he said the Criminal Gets Grounded series is not cyberbullying when Criminal Gets Grounded series is completely 100% cyberbullying. And he almost made all of my favorite users commit suicide by manipulating people to make that series. I am so sorry Syra and Quang for beating up Sophie Cat for the second time in a row. This time with Kenny Animate for their birthdays.
Bruh. Seriously, Happy, you freaking idiot? We can't believe that you beaten up Sophie Cat for the second time in a row. First, back in October 2020, which is last year, you beat up Sophie, along with Andres 290 just because they celebrate my Instagram bestie's main YouTube channel was back from being disabled and hacked. And now you beat up Sophie Cat again. This time with Kenny Animate for their birthdays. Just because today is Sophie's birthday. And as for Kenny Animate, you claimed that Criminals Gets Grounded videos is completely 100% cyberbullying. When it is not. Go Animate/Beyond is just an animating program. That's it. Go home right now. And get out of Sophie Cat's house right now. You raspberry brat, the criminal supporter idiot.
Oh great. Here we go again. Being grounded for a week and 3 days. Can't even worse than this. Where we are.